Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, and 3 days of live trading, check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. On Tesla stock is up over 6%. Now if you guys saw that thumbnail yesterday, it says Tesla ready to rocket, and this thing delivered today. And not only that, in my video I did mention inverse head and shoulder here on Tesla. But before that, when Tesla was coming down, yes, a lot of people can see that right here now, inverse head and shoulder, and calling it out, and that's fine. But when the stock was coming down, guess what? Everyone was saying, Tesla, I don't want to buy it. It's crashing. It's going down to 160. And, who knows where else? Like $100 again. And I said, this is the only dip left here in this market. And I've been buying, and all my shares are green right now. And I'm not selling a single share until at least 230 to 250. And that's how I trade, because everything else here in this market is up, especially all the mega caps are up, hitting fresh new all-time highs, and you cannot count Tesla out. So yes, a lot of people are calling out this inverse head and shoulder and all that. The stock is making a big move today. But when this thing was coming down and I was saying that Tesla is a dip buy, at that time, nobody was buying that dip. And now, watch and trust me, this thing will go up to 230, 250 again, and people are going to buy and go and chase at 250, but nobody was interested right here at 175 or even at 200. And now I think still Tesla, if there is a dip on Tesla, maybe down to 194, that's going to be a dip buy, especially if you're going long enough to hold this stock, you're going to make money. But if you're just going short term, just buying calls and getting out the next day, I don't recommend that here on Tesla. So Tesla on a breakout, and now you can see, we talked about it also in my video, that above 200, and now finally closing above 200 and going into tomorrow's session early as tomorrow morning. I'm expecting Tesla to close this gap 206.77 and then possibly can run up to 212. That is the move for tomorrow on Tesla. On a pullback, we did close over 200, so that's gonna be a strong support. But if that gives up, we also have strong support down here, 194, and then 20-day moving average right here, 192.43, and then we also got support down here, 188.76 on Tesla. And here's my X account, and if you're on there, definitely give me a follow, and there is no subscription, nothing you gotta go through, it's totally free. And here's a fantastic play from today, and pretty much everything went in the green, but I'm only sharing 2 plays right here. And this one you can see right at opening, guys. CrowdStrike, it was trading at 338, and that's where I got in for only $6 a piece. And this thing ran up to, this is where I actually sold for $7.50 a piece, and the runners, they got up to almost $1,200 a piece. This thing crashed, gave away all the gains, and it was down 2% from where this thing was up in the morning, almost 3%. So that was a massive trade. And then you can see this one right here, also ENPH, Enphase, we got puts at 137 and some change, 130, and this thing they were only 40 to 50 cents. And this one also coming down, going over 100%, got up to $1.10 a piece. And this was also a nice setup. Now, all these trade ideas are available on Patreon. And especially if you guys are subscribed to my channel and you want to support the channel, check out the link down below in the description, guys. On Nvidia stock is down 1.68%, so nothing big on Nvidia stock. And if you look at my screen, yes, it's down on the day, but it's above 726, holding rising 5-day moving average into closing. So that's going to be your line in the sand right here tomorrow. 726 as a support on Nvidia stock, and below that, watch out for 715 and then 700. Now, at some point, until this thing actually gets to this earnings, you're not going to see any big move here on Nvidia stock. So we have to wait for that earnings, and that is coming next week on the 21st. Now to the upside, as long as Nvidia can hold right here 726, we could see a move back up to 745, up to even 763. On Amazon, stock is down 0.69%, and this was another opportunity, and we talked about it last night in my video. Anybody watching, you do not have to come and join my Patreon. As long as you have a stop, you could have made lots of money today here on Amazon. Came down to where? 167.59, a strong support, and then you got a bounce all the way up to almost 170. So if you actually caught this dip and you bought some maybe 170, 175 calls, you made decent money. At least I would say 50% on Amazon. And that's how you make money in this market. Especially you see a big support, you can buy it, you can put a stop loss, 10, 15, 20%, whatever you want to put, and then you can ride it back up to the upside. So going into tomorrow's session, again 167, that's going to be key level to watch. But I think tomorrow we could see Amazon going up and filling this gap at 171.54. And then we could see a run up to even 173. And once we get above all these levels, even above 173, then we are going to see a move back up to 175.39, 178.31, up to even 180. Now, Jeff Bezos selling some shares, and I know people make a big deal out of it, but nothing happening here on Amazon. Yes, he could be selling some shares, but there is actually more buyers than sellers on Amazon. You can see why we got another hammer candle today, and the dip was bought up immediately right here on the stock, especially with good earnings. Now this thing is not pulling back, at least holding 167, this critical level right here, as a support. On Google, stock is down 2.17%, and we actually played Google, and I'm still holding some calls on Google, and it was actually pretty much going green before closing, and now you can see it's down about 33 cents, and we also got this hammer candle on Google. So are we going to see some follow through early as tomorrow? We could see Google filling this gap just above 145, and that's gonna be a resistance to watch to the upside, and above that this thing can move even higher back up to 148, up to even 148.56, and then we can talk about this gap right up here. Now to the downside, you can see today, and why I took those calls, it was holding 50-day moving average right here, 142.70, came slightly under, went back up. So tomorrow that's gonna be a strong support, 142.70, and then 140. On AMD, it's down 1%, and just like I said last night, the target hit today, 180, went above 180, 180.50, and then came back and retested this breakout here, 175. Now, I did put out levels today, especially for the members right here, that 175, 174, that would be a dip buy. And if you caught it, yes, this thing was retesting and going back up, and now it's trading at 176.76, only down 1%. So are we going to see continuation to the upside? Possible. But if you look at this Bollinger Band on top, it's sitting at 181.51. So this Bollinger Band here on top on AMD has to expand, and then we could see possibly a fresh new all-time high. Going into tomorrow's session, right here, 175, that's gonna be a key level to watch, and you can see all these moving averages right here are stacked up. So that's gonna be a strong support. But if that gives up, you're going to see a dump down to 164. And above 175, you're going to see a move back up to 180, and then possibly up to this previous all-time highs, 184.92. On Meta, it's up 2.27%, so the buyback definitely kicking in right here on Meta, and you can see the effect, this thing breaking out above 470, and now today almost getting up to the target 490. And now Meta holding well above 470 and pretty much on the next breakout above 490. Now if that happens tomorrow, look at this Bollinger Band on top, expanded up to 510, and that means one thing, above 490, this thing can rocket all the way up to 500 and then 510. And now on a pullback, maybe you can look for support down here around 479.42, and possibly if you're lucky, this thing gets down to 470 to retest 5-day moving average right here. That's gonna be a dip buy on Meta. Now below 470, definitely this is not going to play out to the upside, and you're going to see a dump off back down to 452. On Microsoft, it's down 0.72% and barely holding 406.69 right here, and that is 20-day moving average right here. So that's gonna be your line in the sand tomorrow on Microsoft, and below that you're going to see a dump off down to 400. Now to the upside, Microsoft now needs to break, and you can see high for the day 409, and look at this 13-day moving average right here, sitting at 409.13, and high for the day exactly 409.13 got rejected and came down. So now Microsoft needs to take out this resistance right here, 409, and then also 410, and then we could see some continuation all the way up to this gap just slightly under 415. On Apple, stock is down 0.16%, so basically a flat day on Apple, and it was trading above 185 just a few minutes ago, and now trading at 184.34. So are we going to see a move back up to the upside on Apple? Also, I want to point out right here that we got this head, left shoulder, and this could be right shoulder. Now, are we going to see a breakdown on Apple? Well, it's possible. But also keep that in mind, Apple always strong right here at daily 200 SMA. And I said it last night that never count Apple out. And you can see these moves right here. Every time we saw a big move to the downside, massive rally. Same here, massive rally. Same here, we got a massive, gigantic, bullish looking candle and then some follow through with that. So now you can see 3 candles from last 3 days, especially on bottom. Dip buyers buying up the dip even today. So yes, we could see some follow through, and also Apple holding 183 today into closing as a support, and that means one thing, above 183 Apple can move early as tomorrow up to 185 and then all the way up to this gap 186.79 and then 188. Below 183, the next support down here 180, 183, lower Bollinger Band, and then 180, 177. So Netflix going up 2.44%. Now, what's unfortunate, I played this thing so many times because of this bull flag. In and out, holding or selling next day or 2 days later. Probably maybe 5 times I got in here since this consolidation started on Netflix. Because of this bull flag and how this Bollinger Band expanded all the way up to 613. And we've been talking about it in my video, and I've been telling you guys that if this actually plays out, the next stop 588 and then 600. And look at this, guys, almost 600, but I'm not in it. And that is really unfortunate, and that's why you cannot have the whole pie here in this market. You know, you just get your portion, and I guess, you know, whatever I got, that's what I got, right? No more. And you know, I'm kind of a trader where I don't go and chase anything. Yeah, this thing can run even higher, but I'm not going to go and chase Netflix anymore. The move already happened, massive move to the upside, almost $50, and now looks like, I mean, just 3 days ago was down to 549 and now almost 600. So that is a $50 move to the upside, and it's really close to 50. I mean, it's gonna get there, guys. 600 is gonna get there early as tomorrow. That's gonna be the next resistance to watch on Netflix, and then 610, 613. Now to the downside, if we're looking to day trade, strong support down here 588, and if that gives up, watch out right down here 579 to 580, and then we can possibly talk about a dump off all the way down to 569.30, and that is 5-day moving average right here on Netflix. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into tomorrow's session.